Morning, welcome back. Recently the cooldown period of crazy fan behavior instances seems to have shortened. There is always something to talk about. When you do end up joining a fandom at some point in your life, it starts off as innocent, but eventually you'll be faced with two paths. Like most people, you could end up as someone normal that ranges from a casual fan to a super fan, or you could go down the chaotic evil route and become a sassing fan. It's a term that comes from South Korea and has been gaining traction amongst Asian fandoms. It means an obsessive fan who acts in ways that invades the privacy of idols, drama actors, or other public figures, where one of the most common activities they partake in is stalking. According to the estimates of celebrity managers in the Korean media, popular celebrities may have between 500 and 1,000 sasaeng fans, and be actively followed by about 100 sasaeng fans every day. Who needs paparazzi and a ring security system when your loyal fans are taking pictures of your every move? The four horsemen of toxic fan behavior: acting overly obsessive, being chronically online, posting all your delusional takes on social media, and entitlement. Overall, being a fan is pretty fun if you do it in a healthy way. Looking forward to new releases, new songs, and crumbs from your favorite artist makes an everyday routine more fun. However, if you are at a point in your life where this thing is not very stable and you make fandom your whole personality, it can get pretty dicey and uncomfortable, especially for the celebrity. There's been some drama on the K-pop side of Twitter, where an obsessive fan decided to invade the privacy of one of her favorite idol groups, then proceed to post about all her shenanigans online like she was the main character in an AO3 fanfiction. This basically led to a whole series of predictable events that, unsurprisingly, led me down the rabbit hole of looking into why there's such a huge epidemic of stalking fan behavior in Asia. Sasaeng fans are described as often being female, aged 13 to 22, and are typically motivated by getting noticed by their favorite celebrity using any means possible. We're talking about girly things: seeking out celebrities at their dorms or homes, spreading rumors, stealing their personal belongings or information, harassing family members, and sending idols gifts such as lingerie. How else are you supposed to get anyone's attention in a sea of civilized fans? Hello, how are you? Or being respectful ain't gonna cut it nowadays. That's mentally stable fan behavior. In this era of messed up brain chemistry caused by short form content, and not realizing the importance of digital footprints, any attention is better than none. The dopamine high of getting likes and any form of online interaction is pretty addicting. Some fans even created a competition within the fandom itself. Even though you have the same bias, there is always a chance another fan might get to meet and take a selfie with your favorite celebrity. As the famous philosopher once said,
"We're not a team, this is a competition."
There's an actual disorder called celebrity worship syndrome, and it's exactly what it sounds like, and not something a dad calls everyone at the dinner table on their phones. The scale of how obsessed someone can be varies, with Entertainment Social being your everyday casual fan that likes to talk about celebrities and what they're up to borderline pathological, which is the most severe level of celebrity worship, where fans will start believing they actually have a relationship with their idol, when the idol probably doesn't even know who they are. The worse your mental health, the more it correlates to someone falling on the extreme side of the spectrum. It's really important we take care of ourselves, especially in this day and age, which is why we're sponsored by BetterHelp today. It's great to see people become more open to talking about mental health and why it's important to take care of yourself, but it can be very tricky to deal with, since there's no perfect formula to fix it if you're struggling. I'm sure a lot of people can relate, but I grew up in a household that never talked about these things, and when I did start having problems, I didn't know a thing about therapy or the best way to seek professional help. My first experience with a therapist was in person, and not gonna lie, it was kind of intimidating. I had no idea what to expect. I will say, the therapist did make the atmosphere very comfortable, which I appreciated, but as a personal preference, I would have felt the most relaxed in an environment I'm comfortable in, like my own room. Therapy itself is quite expensive. The cost, the possible stress of traveling back and forth adds another layer of why someone would put off seeking help when they need it. BetterHelp's mission is to make the whole experience more affordable and accessible for people who would like more options. You can do everything online in the comfort of your own home. By answering some questions about your preferences, they'll match you up with a therapist in as little as a few days. It's also never a one-size-fits-all. Since there's so many variables, the first therapist you see might not be the right match for you, as I've experienced myself. That's why BetterHelp makes switching therapists super easy, with no worries about additional costs or stressing about insurance. It's more common than you'd think, and switching around until you find one that fits you the best is perfectly normal. So if you are struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp by clicking the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/edvasian. Thanks to them and you guys for supporting the channel. You can't always control your fans, but your actions can influence what type of audience you'll end up having. K-pop and idol culture tends to focus a good portion of their efforts on lonely people, compared to Western artists, usually. Before Before the social media age, feeling lonely was kind of something you just have to accept. But now, you have content creators, celebrity Instagram stories, live streams all at the touch of your fingertips. You'll never feel sad when you support your favorite artists by liking all their pictures and buying their merch. The Asian entertainment industry will sell you good feelings, happiness, and comfort, and a one-sided parasocial relationship packaged in a $30 album with $100 shipping fees. Fan calls are events that are pretty popular in Asia, where fans will get to video chat with an idol for about a minute, and when taken at face value, it's a pretty nice way for celebrities to interact with their audience that they typically wouldn't get to see. But it also adds more glue to that parasocial relationship that keeps fans coming back for more. That's why idol fans can sometimes go overboard and forget how to act when they're in public. I started looking into this phenomenon more when I saw these tweets on Twitter about how a fan of the K-pop group NCT might potentially have to lawyer up because of some incriminating tweets. She claimed she was able to get one of the members' hotel key card and posted videos of her taking a quick room tour. And it ain't no Architectural Digest room tour featuring Emma Chamberlain. It's rushed and very quick. Almost like she wasn't supposed to be there. These tweets started getting a lot of attention. Fans were concerned because breaking into a celebrity's hotel room and posting about it is very bold of someone to do. But you know that creeping feeling that you get when you have social media and you just want to lie and make stuff up because it's the internet? She kept things pretty vague and let fans come up with their own theories about what happened based on what she posted. But the end citizens became end detectives and put two and two together and realized, oh no, she wasn't lying. This footage is actually her breaking into their room. In these texts, she claims she didn't break in, but used the key card like a normal person. Hee. Fair enough. Maybe Jaehyun from NCT did give her his room key, and she was just having a main character moment.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
I don't think arguing semantics is gonna be your trump card in a courtroom. SM Entertainment reveals they're taking legal action against a stalker who broke into NCT Jaehyun's hotel room. The video is an illegal act that seriously infringes the artist's privacy. We will ask investigative agencies to conduct thorough investigations with the cooperation of both local and foreign law firms and website operators. As of now, we're still not 100% sure how she got the room key. If this ends up being a legitimate case, she basically spoon-fed the evidence against herself by posting it online. Girl, did you get your color analysis yet? I think orange would suit you. Say what you want about K-pop fans, but you gotta give it up for the witty humor that makes up for their lack of brain cells. Hey, I know I'd be a doctor by now if I didn't listen to Gigi Baby and Bang 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 during my developmental years. This same fan tends to exhibit weird behaviors like in this clip from NCT's own YouTube channel, where she's seen following them around for an uncomfortable amount of time.
근데 나 진짜 너무 옷이 코피야. 너 생각보다 안 피어. 다행이다. 그러면 이 달리기에 집중을 못 할 것 같은데? 그럼 이것도 승부야? 뭐야? 이번 거 승부 말고 그러면. 아 그냥 마지막에 찍자. 그래?
Technically, no laws were broken. She is allowed to walk beside them, but wouldn't you feel like you're invading someone's personal space, especially when they're working? We'll never know the true intentions of every single fan. Hopefully, this is mostly harmless behavior. Maybe not anymore, since she did walk into someone's hotel room like she paid for it. She did end up getting noticed in the end, but not sure if it's in the way that she wanted. You can see how the internet has produced a generation of chronically onlines who will do crazy things and post about it for clout. An anime that came out this year called Oshinoko is a show about an idol's life and what they experience while in the industry. It's a really good representation of the complex dynamics idols have with their fans, and how that line gets crossed when parasocial behaviors come into play. There's actually pretty good advice that even I took into consideration about actively posting while in public.
リアルタイムの投稿はやめなさい。外での写真はすべて予約投稿が基本。学習しないわね、黒川茜。
Sometimes we just want to share what we ate for lunch and a picture of a dog that we saw. Stalkers nowadays can take the tiniest crumb of info and somehow locate your IP address, where you work, and what you ate for lunch. You can never be too careful when you're out and about. But what about idols that are working? With all their coworkers around, they must be in a super safe environment where no one can harm them. Back in 2011, Taeyeon from Girls' Generation almost got snatched off the stage while performing in front of an audience. In an area with a bunch of professionals and staff, you'd think the security would be a little tighter. This fan walked onto the stage with the confidence of one of her best friends and forcefully tried dragging her off the stage. Everything happened so fast, but also in slow motion at the same time. Good thing the people around her acted quickly so she didn't get hurt. What exactly was his plan after doing this? Hey girl, we've known each other for at least 5 years. Let's get a nice Americano and go for a walk. This is why famous personalities say, "We are not your friends." Sometimes these fans will go even further. They'll play the long con and infiltrate a celebrity's life while acting like they're not a super fan. A female fan of the popular boy group HiHiJets in Japan was actually able to meet her favorite member in public while taking public transit. It's not every day you recognize an idol taking the subway, so she did what fangirls do and greeted him in an excited manner, and then talk to him, and then pester him, and wouldn't take the hint that he probably just wanted to put in his iPods and take the subway in silence like 99% of Japanese people.
さっきもこの前までさ、携帯赤じゃなかった？さっきもあるじゃないか。人のあるところ。あ、可愛い可愛い。めっちゃ誰がでさ。なんでその毎日マスクしてんの？多分。嘘でしょ？本当なの？マジ可愛い。めっちゃ可愛い。
After this incident, she felt rejected. Why wasn't he reciprocating the same energy when she's such a big fan? With idol culture, the more money you spend, the more it's supposed to equate to you being a bigger fan. And this behavior typically gets rewarded. In terms of fan meets and fan calls, which are sometimes a lottery system, the people that spend the most money are the ones that get to meet the idols, which causes fans to buy albums in bulk for a higher chance of winning. You also start to get that sense of entitlement. Like, I spent all this money on you and I'm your biggest fan. Why don't you love me? Hello? That's the thing with parasocial relationships. For every 100 facts you know about your favorite idol, the more unbalanced the relationship when you finally meet them in person. She was thinking maybe her looks are the reason why he didn't want to talk to her, since she didn't really fit the conventional Asian beauty standard. Boy groups see thousands of pretty girls all the time, and if she wanted to catch their attention, she needed to do something to stand out. So she did what any delusional K-drama character would do. She got plastic surgery and changed her whole face. This right here is Asian Among Us. Next thing you know, she contacts her friend that's already seen one of these boy group members. She pretends to be a friendly pretty girl that's just a casual fan, and at some point she ends up sleeping with her bias along with another member from the group. Unfortunately, this isn't a story where everyone ends up happily ever after. It's more like Gossip Girl mixed with the glory. When she realized she wasn't the only girl they were seeing, she released pictures of them drunk and sleeping to the public, along with a picture of them in bed together. In the Asian entertainment industry, dating is still a very taboo topic, especially when you're supposed to be single and available. How else are you going to sell the fantasy of dating a fan if you already have a boyfriend or girlfriend? An idol's image is basically their lifeline. Your reputation and appearance are the most important things you need to take care of when you work in the Asian entertainment industry. Once you mess it up, your career could be over before it even started. The two members received a lot of backlash and were punished by their company, but their careers were okay after things blew over. Just goes to show that one bad interaction with a fan could create a whole scenario that you'd see in a Black Mirror episode. It's scary being famous because you'll never know people's true intentions. Does this person actually not know anything about me? Or are they actually a huge fan playing it cool when they actually knew what I ate on February 1st at 12:51 in Chicago? Well, another day of realizing I need to use my phone less. You know, I don't think all parasocial relationships are a bad thing. We're all basically in one or more to some extent. If you consume or enjoy content made by another person that you've never met before, you know what you are. As long as you're not super dependent, where it's the only thing that affects your happiness, then you can be a fan as a little treat. Hey, and the YouTube algorithm can have a little parasocial treat too. All you gotta do is take 1 second to like this video, and your engagement will make sure I pop up on your feed the next time I post. Have a good one, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.